Hi, this is a quick overview of how I actually got the Chat GPT to do the booking using ZAP, Chat GPT, and not the prompt API, completion API. So this is the booking convo that I was talking about. So it needs to be a JSON. And as you can see, this is what we actually keep track of the conversation. Otherwise, if you don't do this and pass this back and forth between your Go high level and also Chat GPT, the Chat GPT starts repeating itself because it doesn't know the content. So this keeps getting updated automatically based on the conversation that is going on, the role system are very important. What type of role you're using, as you can see in this case, we're using all the roles, which is system, assistant, and also user. So this is how the conversation is going to work. If you don't know how to do the JSON posting and those kind of things, this might become a little bit annoying and difficult, but it's pretty simple if you know a little bit of JSON and how to play with JSON. I'm not trying to say it is super complicated, but I have a coding background. I was a software engineer, so these sounds super simple for me. I'm just making sure that you guys know that it's okay. It's not that difficult. Anyway, so just to give you an example, so basically, this is just a booking that I do for my clients, the health clinics, and they want to, as soon as someone basically click on their ads and become a lead, they want someone to start the conversation with them. So this is going to be 24/7. So you see, it says, do you want to redeem your offer? It says yes. They say, the chat comes back and say, hey, great. May I know what date and time you prefer to book? And then it gives some date and time that the office is open. And then I come and say, let's do Thursday morning at 9 a.m. They say, yep, I've noted your preferred time for the appointment. And basically tells them that someone from the practice is going to call and book an appointment. The reason that it's doing it this way, because the chat doesn't actually have access to the practice management software. So that's why someone needs to actually call and confirm the appointment, and also they do the payment before actually booking them. So that's just basically the logistics, but it doesn't change the fact that the conversation needs to be going. So the ZAP is very easy. So we got a webhook, and it's catch a hook, and it doesn't do anything specific. We catch a hook, and the things are going to come in, and the important thing happens in the OpenAI, the Chat GPT. So we're going to use the API request, and it's going to be the completions API. So this is the API that we're using. It's going to be the completion API, and it's going to be the post method. The other important thing that you need to add is the additional request headers, because we want to make sure that it's JSON. And then the body that we're doing, it's going to be basically we're defining the model and the messages. This is where the whole conversation is going to happen. So first thing, we pass the booking convo. So the chat agent is going to know the conversation and has the content, and then we're going to pass the latest message that the user has sent. So in this test was yes. And then once it goes in, then we're going to go back and update the lead connector, which is going to send the SMS. And the way that we send the SMS is going to be in the action. We're going to basically just put the email to make sure that the SMS gets sent to that specific person. And then we're going to scroll down, and we have created a field called customer reply. So it's going to be all the way down there. So the customer reply is going to be the response data that we got back from the Chat GPT. And we also need to update the booking convo. So this is the most important part, to keep the booking conversation updated. So we again make that JSON in here. We add the previous conversation, which was the message that the customer said, and also the reply that the assistant, which is the Chat GPT, has sent. So we know that the booking conversation, the next time that comes back, it is completely updated. So this is the most important part. And then obviously we're gonna have the automation for this to get that webhook going on. So I'm just gonna go ahead and bring that up quickly. So if I go to automations, let me just pause this. So the automation is pretty simple. One thing that you want to know is like we created a custom replied, contact changed on a customer reply. So this is a field that we created for the within the contact in order to basically have it as the message to reply to the customer. So we're going to have two triggers. One of them is contact change, and the other one is going to be customer replied in SMS. So it's going to trigger this thing, ignore the condition. This was just testing. So basically, we're going to come in here. The condition is going to be, we have two different conditions. So if the customer replied and if we reply to the customer, which is going to be the Chat GPT. So we have two different things. So if the customer replied, we basically send the reply to the webhook, and the important thing is be sending a custom data, which is the booking conversation, to the webhook. So it's going to be able to pass it to the Chat GPT, and then if the contact change, which means that we have to reply back to the customer, which is going to be that contact customer, which we updated in here. And that's pretty much it. So it's not very complicated once you get how it's working. I would suggest, if you still have questions and don't know how it's worked, have a look at the OpenAI API calls. But if you think it is complicated and you think that this might be helpful for your client and those kind of things, I'm more than happy to come up with something and help you guys out as well. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Bye.